So why did you pop your balloon?
Well, it was the fit and the glasses.
The
I
fish.
can't see.
Why you pop your balloon?
I'm not gonna lie, I like nerds. I like the glasses.
You ain't got the balloon though.
I know. I just feel like you're really close to my height.
You
Man,
can
wait,
switch.
come on. No, how tall are you?
5'2".
I'm 5'9.5" though.
Bro, sorry, dog. You just looking lame, dog. You didn't bring it.
I did my research. I will never, ever give him a DNA test. You will need to take me to court.
If you know in your heart of hearts that that child belongs to that man, just give him a DNA test and get it all said and done with. When you start saying no and doing things like that, for the moment, it only justifies his feelings of that you cheated on him or the kid's not his and things of that nature. It's not that difficult just to go and get a DNA test. No one cares how you feel as the mother. We don't care that you say, I know the child is yours. No, we don't care. If someone is asking, just give it to them. Stop making it difficult, because situations like these only make things worse in the long run regardless. Either you never give it to him and he doesn't be a father, or you give it to him, he shows up, the child's his, and he becomes the best parent he possibly be, or still a deadbeat. Who knows? But still, at least there's some type of definitive notion that he knows that this child is his, and he may.
Yeah, I see a lot of women try to play this off and like really brush it to the side as if, oh man, you don't trust me, you don't love me, all right? Why would I do this? Like, man, it's over if I gotta go do this, bro. That doesn't make sense, man. If a man wants to know if that child is rightfully his, he needs to know, bro. Because look, not every time two people get together, a child comes out looking like the dad or the mom. The motherfuckers be looking like the uncles, the cousins, the grandfathers, bro. And sometimes you, as a dad, you're looking like, yo, this dude looks like cousin such and such, man. Y'all, like, you know, rising suspicions. But fact of the matter is this, bro. When a man feels like he wants the test to be bona fide sure in his soul before he commits to loving this child, that's his right to want to have a test done. You are denying the absolute fact. Here's the thing, man. We absolutely know you're the mom. There's no changing that. Absolutely no changing that, right? But men do not absolutely know if that's their child or not.
From 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help two things. One, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. Two, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
But so many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother. And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married.
Oh, man, this is a fact, man. Why not get this done at the beginning, dog? Save so much trouble down the line for men having to go back and fight. Men having to pay child support for kids that's not there, ruining a lives. Like, so this can be weaponized to ruin men's lives. And it does all the time, man. Women weaponize the fact that this man is their child's dad, and actually knowing this, all right, they use this information to weaponize against men so they can fund their lifestyle, so they can, you know, can continue on and all this, and not have any punishment for going out there and cheating on their husband, cheating on their old man, and all that shit. Nah, man, get that shit done early in the way so we don't have to waste time. 18 years of wasted life. You get what I'm saying?
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, you know, It's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
This lady sounds so special right now. So special. You can be wasting time. Is that not wasting time? That is saving time down the line, bro. If a man would have known this at the beginning, he would not have wasted so many years raising a child that doesn't belong to him. All right, like granted, he falls in love with this child or not, but that's not your right to say, young lady. All right, put that shit in the beginning so we can get this out the way, like facts. Because the next clip I'm about to show you proves why maybe paternity test needs to be a thing in the very beginning. Let's go.
What's up?
What's up is why you've been lying to me for 11 years telling me that DJ is not my real son. Why you been lying to me?
What have I been lying about?
I got DNA test done.
A DNA saying what?
Saying that he's not my son.
Let me see this DNA test.
You don't need to see it. I saw it.
How DNA test gonna say?
How you gonna be lying to me for 11 years? Why would you do that to me?
Where's the lie?
The lie is you. You are the lie. You have been lying to me for 11 years, having me believe that my son that I've been raising for 11 years is not really my son. Like, how could you do that to me? Like, what can you say for yourself right now?
What made you get a DNA test?
Because I went through your phone.
And why the hell?
I saw you talking about me, laughing and bragging, telling your friends that I have no idea that he's really not my son. So I went and got a DNA test done. Like, you think I'm stupid or something? Like, how could you do this to me?
You know what?
What?
You had no business going through my phone and getting
You
DNA
care more
test
about
on
me
my
going
son.
through your phone than you lying to me about my son not being mine? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? You care more about being humiliated and me finding out that our son is not really my son and that he has a different father. I sure have, because I thought he was my son. Because you've been lying to me this whole time.
What are you talking about? Does it matter?
It does matter. Are you crazy? What do you mean? That absolutely matters. Like, you don't see anything wrong with what you did? You don't see anything wrong with what you did? You've been lying to me. You've been sitting here lying to me for 11. Of course I love him, but I can't. But you guys can't stay. You can't stay here anymore.
Where we gonna go?
I don't know. It's not my problem.
It's not my problem.
It's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. I don't know. It's not my problem. I did my job. I did my job. I did my job as a dad. I did my job as a dad. You can't stay here anymore. Y'all gotta go. Both y'all can't stay anymore. No, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Y'all can't stay here anymore. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta get y'all shit and get the fuck about my house. Y'all gotta go. I can't deal with it. I'm putting y'all out. Yes.
Who's gonna put us
I'm
out?
gonna put you out.
How? When?
I'm gonna put you out. I will pack your bags myself and put you out of here. I will pack your bags. Y'all can't stay here. You gotta go. You lied to me. You lied to me. You lied to me for 11 years.
And you
For 11 years straight, you lied to me.
Look, man, you can't justify this man going to get a paternity test after you done bragged about him and bragged about him not knowing this shit to your friends, bro. Come on, bro. You're a trifling young lady, bro. That's all that is, man. I really hope that, you know, he did his job as a dad the right way, raised that kid thinking his own, but you robbed him of the fact of ownership, bro. That is not his kid, bro. You actually robbed the other man's, whatever, his opportunity to be a dad himself, because you out there, you let another man bust you up, and this is what the result is, bro. Now you're gonna be out in the streets with a kid and now you've been dragged the whole child into the situation. Come on, man. This is another example why paternity test should be mandatory in the beginning.
If you falsely accuse a man of being your baby's daddy, it's called parentage fraud, and it's no joke. It's a new era. Ladies are legally free to be with whomever they feel free to be with. And for some women, an honest mistake could be made. Just make sure you're sincere and you've done your homework. And if you're making a legal claim to force a resistant man to claim your child as his dependent, make sure you can back it up with the facts.
So this is it, bro. A man can go out, do his thing, have a kid, bro. You know, step out on his relationship, have a kid, get slapped with child support. All right? Slapped with child support. But a woman can go out, get busted up, have a kid, and then what? Then what? The dad's the boyfriend at the time is gonna be inheriting this kid that's not his. All right. See, there's no repercussion right now for that, and I really hope they come through with this.
So you guys know, paternity test. You can't trust these. Whatever. You're gonna need her consent because you need a DNA sample from her too. The way it works is they do the analysis and it'll show what markers the baby has, see which ones they got from you and which ones they got from the mother. So you're gonna need her consent. It's hard to argue not doing it because we live in a time where we have the technology to be sure that your kid's your kid. Why wouldn't you do that? I've decided that I have to. I like knowing that my kid's my kid and being certain and then following science to know that for sure. If this is something you want to do, make the decision that you're gonna do it before you meet her, before you have the kid. Of course, she's gonna try to guilt trip you. You don't really love me. You don't trust me. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. It has nothing to do with you, lady. I was always gonna do this. I expect it to be a tough conversation, but you make a decision, you stick with it. And that's where I'm at. Don't get me started on the whole marriage thing either. The license part, you can get rid of that. You can get the ring, and maybe not the paper. You can get the rock, but you're not gonna get the paper. Oh, that's a fucking dope line.
I know a lot of guys, bro, straight up, you know, they will get engaged and don't fuck that. We just gonna be socially engaged for a fucking very long time, and then we're just gonna be one of those old school marriage by law because we've been together for so damn long. Like straight up, that's just gonna be the case, bro. Like we together. All right, you get the ring, but on paper, bro, we can't do this, bro. There's too much at stake when you put paper on it.
Don't swipe now. Come back here. Hey, ladies, did you know that paternity fraud is now a crime? Yeah, let's talk about House Bill 2689, because they locking y'all up.
I'm going to make my money one way or another. Even if that means locking you up, I'll make my money off of you being locked up. Please peep the game.
Oh, yeah, and this hookup culture? Oh, yeah, that's a wrap, because they're making it so you can no longer get child support off of one-night stands. If that man wasn't in your life, let me tell you.
Not only are they making it mandatory for the man to get a DNA test before he signs a birth certificate, but now they're like, look, you're not going to be able to get any money off of this man if he was not actively, long-term, a part of your everyday life.
Oh, yeah, it's true, too. And if I could add on to this bill, you know what? If all these fathers are paying these high amounts in child support, why not give the child to the father?
Ooh, they're gonna be mad, guys. Ooh, they're gonna be mad. You can tell me to go get busted up, ooh, and have a kid, and you can't even put that man on child support. But you definitely went out and made him, you know, let him buy you all these drinks. You was in a good mood, and it happened, bro. And it happened. Ooh, they're gonna be a lot of women mad at that bill if it passed.
Two guys call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child.
I'm doing a documentary on the court system here in the UK, and I was interviewing this guy. He works for, it's called Fathers for Justice, and they help men get custody of their kids. And one thing I found out is in the UK, you are actually given a free counsel, which is a lawyer basically, if you accuse your husband of abuse. And what the women can do is they can accuse the guy of abuse, file a restraining order against him even if he did nothing. And if he breaks that, he actually goes to jail. And it can take 1 to 2 years to even get the kid back, so he could have a newborn and not see the kid for 2 years over a false allegation. So he told me this story of this guy.
So we've all seen it, and today we're going to talk about it. Paternity fraud. So I wanted to talk about this because this seems to be the new buzzword that BMs are using to scream to the top of the world that women are deceiving men when it comes to the paternity of their children. So I looked into the actual data, and then of course, you know, your girl is going to come with the receipts as well as provide context behind the stats that they regurgitate, but they never provide the context in which those stats were generated. So let's do it. So for starters, they seem to be getting that data from a 2010 research article. So the data is already coming out old. It said 30% of men are not the father. Paternity tests show a dramatic rise in the number of individuals seeking DNA and paternity testing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to why people are getting these paternity tests and why it's coming out as 30%. So first of all, 30% is not even half. So less than half of these men, and this is old men, they didn't even break it down to black, white, Hispanic, Asian, none of that. This is 30% of all men that they're saying with this 30%, and they're acting like it's the worst thing in the world. So it says this is an often misunderstood statistic provided by some paternity test labs regarding a percentage of paternity tests with a not the father result. Most paternity test labs report that about a third of the paternity tests have a negative result. Of all possible fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are not the biological father. Here is the context that they miss out on. It says, but remember, this is 1/3 of men who have a reason to take the paternity test. So this stat does not include a third of all men. And that is the defining factor that they insist on leaving out. So that is why anytime you see them talking about stats on here, it's important to do your own research, because that 30% comes from the amount of men who had a reason to take the paternity test, and it does not account for all men across the board. So that's an extremely small pool that are saying 30% of the test came back as them not being a father. So anytime you see a